Since the start of this little guy getting released, I've been asked over and over again if I can make a guide for this Pokemon, and it was not in the public test server, so I didn't get to check it out before it was released, and then when it was released, it was really bad. However, now that it's been buffed and it's really solid, here is the Ultimate Pawmot Guide. The Ultimate Pawmot Guide, yeah. Hello everybody, Jake, your resident content cowboy here, Yeehaw, and in this video I'm going to go over everything Pawmot, what I think is absolutely the best build for this Pokemon, and show a couple matches off. Before, I'm going to run you through all of the moves that you would want to use on this Pokemon, then we're going to hit items, emblems, and those games. Let's do it. First, let's take a look at our progression right here from Pawmi at level 1 to Pawmo at level 5 when you also get a move, and Pawmot at level 7. Very little time spent as Pawmo. This is your Pokemon, an intermediate all-rounder that I think is actually a little trickier than some of the Pokemon on the roster. Alright, we're starting off right here. You can start with either Scratch or Nuzzle. We'll talk about your moves here in a moment. The basics of your basics are basic. You hit a couple times, it becomes a boosted. On your boosted, you lunge towards your opponent and deal increased damage with it. The real exciting thing with your attacks is they become empowered, and you have this focus attack meter under you after you use a move. When you use an attack after that, you will recover HP. This is like one of the biggest things in Pawmot's kit, the ability to fight and then continue to recover HP after you use a move. Because of this, ideally, you don't want to use too many moves back to back. You would want to use a move, then auto, use a move, then auto, and so on. So your first two moves here, you have Nuzzle and you have Scratch. Interestingly enough, both of these moves are sure hit moves, right? Which means they are guaranteed to hit your opponents outside of some like interesting dashes and some things like that they can do. And it's going to bring you to your opponent. I would say Scratch is better. It has increased range, does more damage, and kind of like flings you at your opponent very quickly. However, Nuzzle is really cool, and I think a lot of your combos you would want to start out with Nuzzle. So Nuzzle is a short range sure hit, and with this you are going to paralyze your opponent. You see those little lightning sparkles around that Goodra right there? That is Goodra being paralyzed. So when Goodra is paralyzed, they are going to have move speed reduction 30%, and they're going to have attack speed reduction 10%. You also can start with Nuzzle, so they have decreased move speed, and then when they decide it's time to run, you can use something like Scratch to chase easier. Sometimes it's a little hard to chase with Nuzzle, but by the time they're trying to get away, Scratch can kind of close that gap. Scratch is very basic. You attack quickly, you deal damage, and you're right next to your opponent. Easy, nothing else going on with it. I prefer to start a lot of combos with Nuzzle to get that paralyzed and then continue fighting and follow up with Scratch. At level 5, you have a choice between Thunder Punch and Supercell Slam. While both of these moves have their uses, I will tell you right now, I think Thunder Punch is the way to go. This move deals a lot of damage. Not only does it deal a lot of damage, it also slows your opponents by 40% for 2 seconds, which is a huge slow. And it attacks that big wave right there, which allows you to hit multiple opponents with it. I just find it to be really good. You're often not going to be starting your combos with it. Like usually you would get close to your opponents, then hit them, then move in with a Thunder Punch, right? But the damage burst from it is very considerable. At level 11, you get the plus version of Thunder Punch, which is just increased damage, which is awesome. It's already a huge burst move, and now it's even stronger. Your second option is Supercell Slam. Supercell Slam is a really cool move. So you charge it up, and it has this little meter right there. All that meter means is that it's at its max range. You actually don't do any more damage when it's charged there. So if you see Supercell Slam right here, no charge, 539 damage. Then we'll go ahead and do it again here, and it will be the same amount of damage even though it is fully charged. So it's just kind of letting you know that you're kind of at max like range with it, right? So 539 damage when you charge in right there, and it activates another attack afterwards that kind of works a lot like Thunder Punch. You would think because of this it's better. I just don't find it to be as good, honestly. You move in, you can do some damage, and then you get to use this attack, which is pretty solid. I think Thunder Punch is an easier, better move. However, this is pretty cool. It will also reduce your opponent's move speed when you land with Supercell Slam. The move speed reduction is a little less at only 30% for its base move, but that's still pretty solid. And giving you an attack afterwards right there gives you another opportunity to recover HP. This moveset feels like it's set up for more of like an assassin play style, where the other moveset feels like it's maybe set up as a little bit more of a brawler, right? However, I've had some great moments with Supercell Slam. You could definitely set up some surprising fights. One thing to notice is when you are charging, you're taking less damage. So you can see right here, I'm taking the damage, charging. It's actually reduced while I'm charging that by 30%. So that is a cool aspect of this move. I do think you should be careful when using Supercell Slam. So notice this right here. You use Supercell Slam, you get your second part of it charged. The cooldown of this move does not start until that second move is resolved, right? So you want to be careful not to Supercell Slam and sort of leave this second move without using it, because you don't get your move cooldown, and that could be pretty devastating. You might need it again to continue fighting your opponent. At level 11, you get the plus version of this, which just increases the slow to the same slow that you get out of Thunder Punch. So it's a nice little increase right there. 40% slow is awesome. The damage of using Supercell Slam, both versions of it, is actually slightly higher than Thunder Punch until Thunder Punch gets its level 11, and then its base is just a little bit higher. At level 7, you have a choice between Volt Switch and Mach Punch. Volt Switch is interesting. It's kind of like Scratch, right? Where it's the sure hit move that dashes to your opponent. And the nice thing about it is you get another use of Volt Switch pretty quickly afterwards. It has a fast sort of timer where you're going to need to use it again. But this is a nice move, especially for chasing. You can chase to your opponents, and if they eject or something away, you can easily make it to them still, which is really cool, right? I think it pairs decently well with both Thunder Punch and Supercell Slam. It does feel like a nice chase down when you're jumping in with Supercell Slam, so you can follow up and KO an attacker, which is pretty cool. Level 13 is a pretty basic upgrade for it. It just reduces the cooldown of this move by 1 second, which, hey, like any cooldown reduction is nice. One thing to notice with this move, until you use or don't use that second part of Volt Switch, it also doesn't go on cooldown, so you don't begin getting your move back until that's been used. Your second option here is Mach Punch, and I think Mach Punch is really incredible. It has a base lower cooldown than Volt Switch, and the big thing is, as you see, when you hit with Mach Punch, you briefly stun your opponents. So you shove them slightly, and you briefly stun them. Also, you'll notice every basic attack that you're hitting with is lowering the cooldown of Mach Punch, so you get this move back much faster, and it's just so much more advantageous to set up an opportunity to shove and stun your opponents in some of these big fights. Of course, like any of your moves, after you use it, you get that focus hit as well that will recover your HP. I just find it to be so dang useful, and I highly recommend Mach Punch. At level 13, it's increased time that your opponents are left unable to act up to a second. So it's about a half second. It's like 0.6 seconds before, and now it becomes an entire second that they're unable to act. A second is a very long time in a Pokemon Unite fight. You know, you're moving in, boom, you hit them right into the stun with the Razor Claw, the extra slow, the extra damage, and you just start bursting them down very, very fast. I think Mach Punch is extremely good. Now let's talk about your Unite move, Zip Zap Full Charge Spark. I had no idea what it was called, but now I know it's Zip Zap Full Charge Spark. This is a sure hit move that is going to hit your opponents, right? Like I can't target wild Pokemon with it. However, once you use it, a lot of different things happen. So your moves that you already have used go off of cooldown, and they kind of become a different, enhanced version of your moves, and you go into what is known as fighter mode. So in fighter mode, your moves change the way they work, and at the same time, you do different kinds of things with your moves. Like this gauge that you get after them no longer recovers your HP. Instead, it increases your attack speed, as you can see right here. This can stack up to 2 times, so you're able to get increased attack in a crazy way when you're in fighter mode, but you don't get that HP recovery. And I have to be honest, sometimes I don't like being in fighter mode, and I prefer the regular mode that Pawmot is in. So against this Goodra here, I'll kind of show you this. Like you would be attacking with your moves, boom, right into your Unite. Your move cooldowns reset. Mach Punch now no longer has the stun and throw, and then Thunder Punch no longer slows, but they deal increased damage and come back very quickly, setting up opportunities for you to do your autos. You're in fighter mode for 8 seconds after you use it, and the only way to charge fighter mode is to auto attack or use moves against either wild Pokemon or enemy Pokemon. As you can see here, I'm getting 1%. every time I'm auto-attacking a wild Pokemon. This counts as an enemy player. I would be getting 4% every time I'm hitting an enemy player. Your moves give you even more, right, than your autos do. But the only way to charge your Unite is through fighting, which is a really cool way to do that. For Supercell Slam and Volt Switch, Supercell Slam activates really quick and you still get the attack afterwards doing increased damage. And Volt Switch now no longer has the second dash to it, right? But it is going to do increased damage. Fighter mode really does feel like it's completely set up to finish a fight rather than start a fight. In fact, normally when I'm fighting my opponents, I move in with my moves, and then when I want to finish something, I activate fighter mode. So right, in a situation like this, I would start moving in with my Supercell Slam, doing my attacks, Volt Switch attack, Supercell Slam, boom! Then I move into fighter mode after my moves are on cooldown, right? And I can continue the fight that way. I think that's the strongest way to do it. You also get to decide if fighter mode is going to be important in this fight, or if you kind of need to stay the Pawmot you are so that you can use your moves and get HP recovery, which is one of the best things about Pawmot's kit. I told you in this video I would talk about the best move set for Pawmot, and I highly believe that is Mach Punch, Thunder Punch. You start a lot of great fights with Mach Punch right into an auto, and then right into your Thunder Punch, dealing huge amounts of damage. Your Mach Punch comes back fairly quickly, allowing you to do more auto attacks, recover fast, and at the same time stun your opponent. This gives you long enough where Thunder Punch can come back for some of these fights as well. So I do think this is the strongest combo, but the other combo is also very cool. So let's now talk a little bit about held and battle items. For held items on Pawmot, I think there are two that are just so much better than anything else that it's hard for me to drop them, and that's Muscle Band and Razor Claw. You're using your basic attacks a lot. The extra attack speed is nice, but the 3% damage, you know, with Muscle Band is incredible. Then you have Razor Claw. The way this Pokemon operates, you are often moving from move to auto, move to auto, move to auto. This feels like a no-brainer item, and the slow also really helps when opponents try to get away from you. The third slot, I feel like, has a lot of different options here. I was recently playing Scope Lens on it for fun, and while I don't think it's the best, it is nice having those really powerful critical hits from Pawmot. I think attack weight is a very, very solid third option. Obviously, an attack weight just giving you more attack makes all of your moves and all of your autos deal increased damage, which is pretty incredible. I should mention your recovery is also slightly based off your attack stats, so this helps with that as well. If you don't like stacking though, there are a lot of great options. Excel Bracer, a great option. This gives you attack when you are KOing or assisting in KOs, and you're gonna do that a lot when you start to get good with Pawmot. I think that is a great option. I also think you can't really go wrong with something like Weakness Policy. You're gonna be in the fight, and this is gonna be triggered most all of the time that you are brawling with your opponents. So a great item when you don't want to stack at all, either with KOs or with scoring like an attack weight. This is just really nice. You're pretty much always going to have this extra damage or this extra attack stat activated, and the base HP it gives you is just helpful as well. Other kind of fun options, I do think you could run something like a Scope Lens, a Drain Crown, a Rapid Fire Scarf. I think you're getting most of your recovery that you need from your ability, right? Your Iron Fist passive. But I do think it's fun having extra recovery in Drain Crown, even though it's not insanely useful. Some defensive items could be good too. Rocky Helmet wouldn't be bad depending on what you see on the other side, and you're fighting for a long time, so you'll get multiple procs of this, and the increased defense is pretty cool. Another item that I think works pretty well for this Pokemon is going to be a Focus Band, of course. This synergizes very well with the fact that your kit is fully based around recovery, so you will have this item proc, it will keep you in a fight longer and longer, and because you're in a fight longer, you'll recover more and be in a fight longer, right? It's just a really nice synergy for this Pokemon. For battle items, I think there are a few options that make a lot of sense. Eject is always good, just getting you further away or closer to pick up a KO. I do think that a full heal is probably one of your best options for Pawmot. You're near your opponents a lot, which means you're very close to anything that can hit you with tons of crowd control or stuns, and this is a great item for that. X Attack, not too bad. You know, you just get into a fight and you kind of go crazy in these moments, dealing increased damage and having increased attack speed. And then Potion. Potion isn't too bad either. You could run X speed as well, just to get a little closer to your opponents. I think there are a lot of good options, but full heal is probably the best. For Pawmot, these are the emblems I've been running. White, brown, it says a little blue as well. A little extra HP, a little extra critical hit, a little extra attack. If you can, 6 white, 6 brown is pretty good for every Pokemon based around attack, right? This setup is a little more focused on dealing damage. You could set this up to be a little more focused on HP as well, which wouldn't at all be a bad idea. All right, heading to the top path here with a Duraludon. Could be fun. Looks like Crustle wanted to make their way here, but... we're running weakness here, so we're not worried about stacking right now. Just worried about clearing this as fast as we can. Ninetales is annoying, but we fight better than Ninetales. We should get both. At least one. Just one. Got the berry in the bush there. Ooh, now he might go down, actually. Uh-oh. Got that. Ninetales is now going to be 4, so this fight's worse. And there's the jungle, so we just got to back out. Just back out, brother. We can't do much. Kind of looking at it. I know what you're up to, buddy. I know what you're up to, Zoroark. I would like to not have them score, but with all 3 of them here, I can't do that really at all. They could move through our center and fight. It looks like that's what they were going to do, and they see that our center, I guess, Azu is not there, so kind of free range of it, right? Roll that. Able to get my first move. Unfortunately, yeah, I was about to say we're in kind of a scary situation because I thought that Zoroark would come back, and they did. Our center has not gone back to their center at all. I think all of it's been taken by Zoro. It's gonna be one of those tough games where the enemy jungler's super fed and our team's doing nothing about it. Just giving up our entire central area to them. And the Drago. Tough. But we will fight. Ooh, never mind. He's low, but he did get Dura. Oof, there's 4 up here too. I got 2, and I evolved. Ooh, barely. Trying to recover real quick. Oh, nice job, Dura. Appreciate you, buddy. Team grab Reg Ice buff. Alright, our HP's back. Ooh, so close. Almost got the Pikachu. Zoroark's gonna be back here in 2 seconds. There it is. Ooh, he's going with Unite. Trying to get that Zoroark to move in so I can stop him, right? Dang. Hit the wrong one. Try to get Zoro. I hit the Hoopa. Barely missed him. Fight went okay. We're going to need to get our center because our allies are not getting it. But luckily they won bottom when they four player went top and we actually stopped them, which is pretty good. Gotta grab this real quick. Stura was not attacking that, but not much you can do about it. Hoopa just united. Best thing we can do is let this walk without them scoring first, right? Nice little combo right there. Okay. Ow. Oof, I'm on 0. Gotta go. Gotta go. Got an objective bottom. Our team should probably form up for it, but no one's at it yet. Pika's here. Get one. Nice. Good fight. Just gonna try to take some XP. I got 3 here. They're coming to fight. Zoroark missed its combo. Kind of juked it just a little. Oof. Good, Dura Unite. Nice job. Like to see that. Zoroark's in some trouble here. Almost. Just barely missed him. Ooh, close. Alright, I'm heading top. Heading top. That's probably our last Unite that we had in the bottom path there before Ray. We're at 310 now. We'd have to get extreme value out of using it now, but maybe if we were like close to a team wipe or something, you know. The experience swing could be big. Regieleki is down. Pika's in trouble. Got him. This might walk. It'd be okay if it didn't, honestly. Zoro's here. Get out of here, guys. Pika Unite. Scary. Gonna try to heal real quick. Uh-oh. Dura got caught. I'm running. Tank with the smackdown can check bushes pretty good. That's nice. Okay, 2 down. Oh. Jeez. That was wrecked. Okay. Tank's here. Hoopa. They're not really hitting. We're still ahead. So we can kind of play a little more carefully here. Pika. There's the Zoro. Going for it. Oop. We got 1. I only got the 1. The Zoro's so close, too. I thought I could get 2 there. That's why I went for the Unite fight. Someone needs to watch that goal, too. Good job, Tink. Ooh, nice. Dura, go there. It won't let me ping goals in anymore. I forgot about that. Someone has to watch that. Nice. GG. GG. Good fight. We almost got 2 at the end. If we would have got 2, it would have been a guaranteed game over. Good thing Tink based. It's weird you can't ping goal zones anymore. That's like a very unfortunate thing that they've changed. But GG. They only needed 100 too. They only needed 100. GG's everybody. Boom, 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 boom. Pawmot. Alright, heading to the top path with what looks like a Magikarp. Maybe not ideal, but alright. Let's see what we can make happen here. Leafeon down here. I don't have anything to score, so it's good that my Carp can, though. It'll increase their effort gauge. I might be in trouble here, however. Got one secure. Yeah, they go Leafeon right away. We're going to be in trouble. We have a really weak lane, but, you know, some good news is our ally is stacking. They are going to go down here, I think. So overall, we definitely lose by this play, but hey, maybe they can get out. Nice. Good. If I can help them get an assist on a KO, that would be massive. Magikarp's focusing on the wrong one, but that's okay. Dang, I wish our Magikarp was with us so we could have evolved them, but it is what it is. Gary will get online when Gary gets online. Oof. Right into that future sight there. I wouldn't be able to stop this Leafeon from scoring if he jumps on the goal, so I'm just going to go ahead and get my experience here. Off to a rocky start. We have a really bad lane, you know, but we're going to do what we can. Help this Venu possibly pick up a KO. I'm going to go down, but we should be able to get Leafeon here. Great. Our Magikarp has gone bottom. Oh boy. Oh boy. Alright. Good stuff from Venu. He should walk towards Regidrago. Got it. Our Venusaur backed here. I was hoping he'd come in with like even one beam. One beam I think changes that fight. But a tough start for the crew. And we still have a Magikarp. Dang. Walk out of this. We go down. Luckily, our Venu is almost 9. Our Gary's online now. We picked up a nice KO that got us some experience. We're almost 7. This is, you know, an interesting one because we're starting out a bit behind here, but we can definitely come back. Especially now that we're Pawmot. Opponents are hitting. We've got great secure on our side. We don't get it. Fight goes well, though. Oof. Huge confusion right there. Oh, dang. Comfey wasn't able to jump on fast enough. Gary is now scoring in the bottom path. We're going to lose top here. Good, it was from Leafeon. It could have been from guard right there, which would have been bad, but that's not a big overcap. We'll be okay. Just gotta farm for a little bit, get ready for our next fight. They took our red buff. It's the Latios. Alright, let's see. There's a Latios again. Our Gary is just away from the team capping once more. Unfortunate, but this is what it is. Our Pika is also not with the team. It's a hard one, guys. Can I get Guardy? I do get one. Our Pikachu is just in their central area for some reason. I really wish they were with us because like those stuns would be very useful, but we're just kind of fighting alone here. And our build is set up to be an assassin build, so you kind of want your team to be fighting a little bit for you to take full advantage of this, right? No need to surrender, although I understand why my team is doing it. We're not fighting together as a squad at all. Okay. I don't know what to even make of this. Okay. Not a good fight. We just gotta get levels right now. I'll let Venu take that. I guess our Gary's farming, you know, if we get a good fight at Ray, that would be great. All right. Messing with Leafy on there. Okay, they get a KO. Jumping on in, going in with my Unite. Time to take Groudon right now. Comfey gets it with a magical leaf. 4 down. It's our opportunity. Tough fight, but we took the one at the end. Okay. Ooh. Trying to fight as quickly as I could there. Nice. What we needed to do is make sure we got it before that Latios got back. Tough fight. We finally fought together one time in the match and we actually won. That's so funny. We could have won so many fights together as a crew, but fair enough. We fought together one time and it worked out. Kind of funny how that works, huh? Whoa. Nice little burst right there at the end. It's almost like we should have fought together the whole time. But fair enough. There you go. Supercell Slam, Volt Switch, with a rough game. A rough game. Until we all get together. A rough one. We went 10-3 on that one. Only did 57k. Not surprised we didn't really fight together too much. I got to get up to our Venusaur and our Comfey. They were definitely trying in that match. So there you go. A Pawmot guide, a couple of Pawmot matches. Both matches actually had some difficulties, right? Like we struggled in the beginning of both, a little slow. We didn't play center. Sometimes Pawmot can be pretty good center because you get your 5 immediately. But we got online, we won some big fights, and we won some games. I hope this guide was helpful. Let me know what guide you would like to see next in the comments. Thank you. Goodbye. Yeehaw.